Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends. Welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, I'm going to delve into this a little bit. This is Dark Assassin, number 4, from Greater Murcury Comics from 1990. And here it says, created by Kris Silver. I need to give you a little bit of background here. In the 80s, there was a big glut of black and white comics from small independent publishers and a lot of self-publishing and the like. And now there's I guess in some circles, some of those, such as these, are called power comics. There's another YouTube channel called Power Comics, and that's all they focus on is that stuff. And those guys are the ones who coined that expression, I guess. And the comics such as the Greater Murcury Comics, except for having an actual publisher of sorts, and kind of fit into that genre. I had done previously talked about Shallow Man, that Jewish superhero who was basically a modern interpretation of the golem from mythology, would fall into that category as well. So, but there's a bit of a story here. It says here, created by Kris Silver. And it's hard to find anything, for me to find anything on Kris Silver. And partially because there are other people with the name Kris Silver with the same spelling, would you believe? They're out there. Okay, and in about 1986, this guy, Kris Silver, I don't know where he got the money to start up his own publishing company out of the blue. And from what I understand, he had no previous publishing or writing experience. And he started Silver Wolf Publishing. Silver Wolf Comics. Created a whole bunch of characters that were basically swipes of primarily Marvel characters. And this Dark Assassin is basically a Batman swipe. And you can see, because he cuts the same, has the same silhouette, to make sure he had the same silhouette. And basically the same abilities. And he published several titles, hired artists, did virtually all the writing himself, and the company folded within a couple of years for whatever reasons. And he says that distributors weren't paying him for the money they owed him. I don't know. I know nothing about it. And then a couple years later, he started back up again with the same characters and some of the same creators from Greater Murcury Comics. And that lasted for about a year or so, and then it folded again. Now, all the talent, virtually all the talent that he worked with, well, everybody was unknown, which is fine. They're also pretty much amateurs, again, which is fine. But see here, it was Silver War. Go back to Silver War. It was California-based publisher, founded by Kris Silver in 1986. Now, but you did get some out of there. I guess artist Tim V. Hill, who was later a real professional with Marvel and DC, etc., started there, and I guess Ron Lim also did some work for him. And from what I understand, even Rob Liefeld had been hired, but never actually did any work for him because the company either folded or he got hired away to something else before that. But he never did any work for them. So there are Greater Murcury Comics Dark Assassin number 4, 1990, written by Kris Silver, and the artist is D. Villalovos. I don't know what the D stands for, and I couldn't find anything about the artist anywhere. So, and I remember when these were coming out. I had got a few issues. The character grips here. This is part 2 of a 4-parter. Says The Protectors, part 2 of 4, and it's Dark Assassin, who is the title character, Grips, Edge, and Chance, as well as the Protectors. Now this group of Protectors of superheroes, the Protectors, is a creation of Kris Silver, and they had their own titles, and but they're not in any way affiliated with the Protectors done later by Malibu. There's no connection. They just happen to share a name, the Protectors. Okay, let's take a little look inside. Yeah, here we are. Dark Assassin. See the way this cover is laid out with the solid color bars like this. Silver Wolf and Greater Murcury were known for that. And another thing that both iterations of this publisher was known for was the computer lettering. And it's just so small, you can barely see it. And it's right in the middle of the storyline. I don't remember these characters, but we know that's Dark Assassin. And you can see here what I mean by it. It is the art is it's promising, but on an amateur level, as is common here, and that is not to say that it's bad. And then they use all kinds of textures and stuff in here, patterns, whether it's from film or laid on by computer, I do not know. And it's right in the middle. I don't know what's going on. This character here has Dark Assassin over his shoulder. It lays him out here. You get to see the spread of the characters and Protectors. They have captured Dark Assassin. Apparently, he's wanted for being a vigilante. He's a kind of a Batman type, and they're kind of a Avengers type. And some of these characters correspond. Some had their own titles. And I don't know what he was doing, what he was captured for, what the scoop is. They try to get him to talk. Don't know why. And but I said this art has its moments. like that, the face right there, and that close up right, these faces right here. Some nice work. And then you have other stuff. They definitely did a lot of work, a lot of hard work. Here's some decent panel-to-panel storytelling, and it would have looked better had these panels been larger and these panels been smaller. It would have improved the storytelling and the page layout. But he manages to crash out the window. He has his little utility belt, gets his gizmos, his line, and swings to safety. You can see here it's catching. He swings in. Well, crap, he got away. Well, go get him. So they're going to go get him. See, in these particular panels here are a little lacking. And here's somebody who's in charge. And then, well, he's in there, and he manages to get down, but he's almost out. And someone comes by and picks him up. This is somebody else. This is Grips. He's kind of a Wolverine analog. And he picks up Dark Assassin and takes him someplace. What? These pages don't want to go. Well, he's out. And there's Ed. This is Grips with Edge. And their mentor, whoever he is, I never did find out who his name is. And so, what's the scoop with Dark Assassin? Don't know. No, the protectors are after him for some reason. Well, so they come up with an idea. I don't know why. Don't know what their motivations are. Know nothing about it. But they get an idea. Now here, Assassin is recovering from his ordeal. Now these are some really nice panels here. Has some interesting page layout. It's a really nice figure there. These nice figures here, and his face. And he's pondering. He remembers what happens. So he gets his costume and takes off. Then we can see they even had ads. They had ads. There's a Batmobile thing. Anyway, so here are the protectors around their headquarters, and suddenly Dark Assassin appears. What's the scoop? And then one of the other guys at the other side of the building. Well, Dark Assassin's over here. What's going on? What's going on? And then another place. Well, Dark Assassin's over here. He's everywhere. He's coming in trying to... And I still don't know what the scoop is. I read this thing, and I do not know the motivation for anybody for anything. So I don't think Kris Silver knew how to tell a story. And then... Yep... Here he is over here. Here he is on the roof. What's going on? What's going on? Had an ad there. Have some Tim V. Hill art, I think. And everyone is flummoxed because there they are. A whole bunch of Dark Assassins. And this is where the artist's skill broke down. Because he did some really, really nice figures earlier on, but here his figures are just, I don't know, maybe he was rushed, I don't know, but aren't very good. And then that's it. It's continued next issue. The scoop is all those other guys, Edge and Grips and somebody else, they all got dolled up in Dark Assassin costumes, and they're flummoxing the protectors. Again, I do not know why. I never understood why. Don't know the names of a lot of the characters involved. But you can see that it's amateurish storytelling, amateurish art, and neither of which is a cardinal sin by any means. I wonder where Kris Silver got the money to start his own publishing company from scratch without any experience, and he was trying to be a new Stan Lee by creating all these characters and doing all this writing, and then have that company fold. Obviously broke, being owed a lot of money, and then just a couple years later able to start up again under a different name. I don't know. If somebody knows, let me know, because I can find very little about Silver Wolf and Greater Murcury comics on the net. I can find a lot of the comics and a lot of references to them, but I can't find the story. And I would really like to know more of the story and more about Kris Silver, because I really can find almost nothing about him. Okay, that's what we've got. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed that. Taking a look in this stuff. We'll be looking at some more Silver Wolf and Greater Murcury stuff in the future, I'm sure. So please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Yeah, do you remember the publisher? Do you remember this particular character? Do you know more about the character than I do? It wouldn't take much. And let me know. Please, somebody, let me know. And remember, comics are art.